So welcome back. My name is Lee from Lever's Kitchen. Today we're going to make the world's best sandwich recipe, and that is the Vietnamese Banh Mi. And I'm going to show you how to make it at home and how easy it is to make. So today we're going to make a beautiful banh mi at home, and it's just so easy to make, and I'm going to show you how to make it. So it's a fusion between French techniques and Vietnamese cooking, and that's because the French took over the Vietnam from around the 1880s, and they had control into about the 1950s. And with them, they brought things such as flour, which got us these beautiful bread rolls, and coffee. The coffee culture in Vietnam is amazing, and I love coffee, so I was really happy with that. And thirdly, they brought dairy, which isn't really prominent in the Asian countries. So the way the actual banh mi actually came was they had these bread rolls, and the Vietnamese didn't have much. And so whatever they had, they used that to fill these bread rolls with. And over time, some areas started introducing new things. So Saigon started adding pate to theirs. Another area started adding shredded vegetables to theirs and pickled vegetables. And that's now become the banh mi that we know today. And because it resembles their adaptiveness and they just used whatever they had, you can have a banh mi however you want. There is actually no proper recipe of the perfect banh mi or anything. It's basically have it how you want it. So any purists out there will, say it's wrong, but technically there is no actual proper recipe for a banh mi. So the banh mi I'm going to make today is very similar to what you find in Saigon. So in Saigon, you'll find there is some pate, and also there is a butter, except it's not actually butter. I'm going to show you that in a second, but it's actually really easy to make. So the first thing we're going to need is our bread roll. So what you're going to want is a deliciously pearly bread roll on the inside, and you want a crispy outside on this as well. Now, these have been in a bag, so they're not crispy anymore. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put these into my oven. And I'm just going to put them in the hot oven for about 5 minutes just to re-crispen them up, and it's just going to be absolutely beautiful. So all the other ingredients, what we've got here is I've got some roast pork just from the supermarket here. If you have just done a roast pork in your oven or something, or you got some pork belly or something like that, that goes absolutely beautiful in this. So if you've got leftover roast pork, this is amazing. The day after you have your roast pork. And then we have some coriander, we've got some cucumber, we've got some pickled vegetables, and that's really easy to do. And then I've got some pate. So the pate that I picked was this Liverhurst pate, and that's just from my supermarket. And this is a pork-based pate. If you can't find something similar to that, go for chicken liver pate, very similar. And then we've got some chilies here, and then all the rest of the ingredients here are just for our butter. It's called actually Bơ. So the Bơ is very similar to a mayo, except it has a lot less oil compared to your actual typical mayo. So I'm making a recipe similar to what they have in Saigon. So what the vendors actually are passionate about is the pate and also the butter that they use in their banh mi. Now, I don't really have time to make pate, but I'm going to make the butter or the Bơ today. And it's pretty easy. It's similar to a mayo, except there isn't as much oil as it goes compared to like a mayo. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to separate our eggs. So we're just going to use the yolks in this. Now, with your whites, put them in a container, keep them in your freezer, and you can keep them for a recipe. I know how expensive eggs are these days. Then we're going to add half a cup of a neutral oil. I'm using a light olive oil here. Then we're going to add just a little bit of salt. And just a little bit of garlic powder. You could also add real garlic, but I couldn't be bothered chopping anything up. Little tip, if your garlic powder clumps up a lot, keep it in your fridge. Makes life so much easier. And then what I'm going to use is my stick blender. I'm going to hold this on an angle. I'm just going to wait for these egg yolks to just reach the bottom of that. All right, there we go. It's a little bit runnier than I probably would like it, but it'll work. I did see some recipes that actually add a little bit of pork fat or something in that, and that would actually quite help it solidify up a little bit. So now I'm going to start preparing our vegetables. So I have a cucumber here and a chili here, and all I'm going to do is for the cucumber is I'm just going to slice this into like strips. Just like that. I think that actually goes better in the banh mi. And then for our chili, I'm just going to slice that in half. Take the seeds out. Also like bumbarina. And I'm just going to cut that into strips. So for our pickled vegetables, so in here I have some pickled carrot and daikon, and I can can it up so it's actually ready on the shelf for when I want it. And it's just so easy to make. So all you need is a cup of water, a cup of just normal distilled vinegar, and then you just need about half a cup of sugar. Put that in a pot, dissolve that, and then you're going to shred your carrot and daikon. Now if you can't get daikon, don't worry too much about it, just do a shredded carrot. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pour the hot brine over the shredded vegetables, and you're gonna let it sit for a while so they take up all that brine. And it's absolutely amazing. So the other two things here I have is some coriander here. So here I have our pate. So when you go to a supermarket, you might not find a pork liver pate. If you can't, just find like a chicken liver pate. I think it's just going to be just as good. I was lucky to find this. You can make your own pate. The only issue is with pork products and offal and everything, it's very hard to actually find. So we've got that. Then we have our two beautiful bread rolls that just come out the oven. Nice and crispy. And to finish it, we have some Maggi seasoning. And every Vietnamese person swears by this. I've also done hoi sin on like a pork crackle banh mi, but you know, a lot of purists don't like that. All right, so let's make our banh mi. All right, so these are just fresh out the oven. It's so deliciously crispy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice down the middle, but not all the way. Then we're going to spread our beurre on, which is basically our Vietnamese butter. This could be a little bit thicker, but I didn't want to emulsify for me today, so it still tastes fine. And now I'm going to add our pate. And now I'm going to add my pork. So you could add whatever chilled meats, or if you got pork belly or you got some roast pork, delicious, go for it. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to add our cucumber. I'm also going to add our Maggi seasoning now. I'm also going to add a little bit of sriracha because these chilies are not spicy and I love chili in my banh mi. And when you go in with our pickle fetch, I'm going to put some chilies just for flavor. There's no heat in these, unfortunately. And then stuck on that coriander. There we go. Homemade banh mi. So I'm actually going to admit something. I actually recorded me eating this and everything last night. And for some reason, it didn't record. So I'm back at lunchtime today. That's why you can see a bit of light outside. And we're having it again. And that's how I also found out that these chilies have no heat on them. So that's why I added sriracha today. So let's go. It looks bloody amazing. So good. Yeah, that creamy pate in there, that just gives it a really nice mouthfeel to it all. And yeah, the pickled veggies give it that bit of tang, a bit of sriracha giving that bit of heat, that coriander just giving it freshness. Oh my God, absolutely amazing. So if you can't get down to your Vietnamese bakery or your Vietnamese restaurant, it just shows you can definitely make it at home. Is it exactly like they make in the Vietnamese store? No, but it's pretty close. So I hope you give it a go and let me know down below, what do you love on your banh mi? Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.